All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle one of those questions that sits at the very core of, well, everything. Who are we, really? Are we just our thoughts, our anxieties, our fleeting moments of joy? Or is there something deeper? We're going to explore the massive difference between the mind and the soul. We throw these words around all the time, right? The mind, the soul, they can feel kind of interchangeable. But what if they're not? What if one is like the weather, constantly shifting, stormy one minute, sunny the next, and the other is like the sky itself, always there, vast and unchanging? So let's ask it plainly. What is the real difference? And boom, here's our starting point, this simple but incredibly deep statement. Think about it. One is the instrument, a piano, complex, mechanical, full of potential. But on its own, it's silent. The other is the player, the artist, the consciousness that actually creates the music. Let's break down exactly what this means for you and me. So to really get a handle on this, we've got to get our definitions straight. We're talking about the mind, which in ancient philosophies like the Vedanta is called manas, and the soul, which is known as the Atman. Okay, check this out. On one side, you have the mind. It's dynamic, it's always changing, it's that nonstop chatter in your head. It's basically a super advanced processor, constantly crunching data. But look at the analogy. It's the light bulb. It shines, it does its thing, but it's not the source of the power. The soul, the Atman, is that power. It's the electricity. It doesn't change, it doesn't flicker, it's just pure, steady consciousness that makes the light bulb light up in the first place. And this table just lays it all out so clearly. The mind, it's made of a kind of subtle energy. Its job is to think, to want, to react. The soul, pure consciousness. Its only job is to witness. But honestly, the analogy at the bottom is the one that really hits home for me. The mind is like the reflection of the moon on a choppy lake. It's distorted, it's flickering, it's totally dependent on the state of the water. The soul, though, the soul is the moon itself, calm, steady, and completely unaffected. Let's use another classic to really nail this down, the chariot analogy from the Upanishads. Picture this. Your life is a chariot. The horses pulling you forward, those are your five senses, always trying to bolt towards whatever looks, sounds, or smells good. The reins, trying desperately to control those wild horses, that's your mind. The driver, the one with the skill to actually steer, is your intellect. But here's the kicker. Who is the passenger sitting silently in the back? The one the whole journey is actually for? That's the soul. Without the passenger, the whole trip is pointless. Okay, so this is all great in theory, but it leads to a really obvious practical question. If this soul thing is real, if it's who I truly am, then why is it so dang hard to feel it? I can feel my mind racing a mile a minute, but my soul, not so much. Well, the answer is kind of a beautiful paradox. You see, your mind is an object. You can observe it. You can literally say, wow, I'm having a stressful thought. But the soul is the ultimate subject. It's the one doing the observing. It's like asking your eye to see itself. It can't. It can see the whole world, but it can never turn around and look at itself. To find the soul, you can't look for a new thing. You have to become aware of the looker. So how in the world do you do that? The practice is all about becoming the witness, or drashta. So first, just try to watch your thoughts float by like clouds in the sky. Don't grab onto them, don't judge them. Then try to shift your attention away from the clouds to the vast, empty sky that they're appearing in. And then, here's the game-changing part. Ask yourself, who is it that's aware of this thought? The second you ask that, you snap back from the thought to the awareness behind the thought. That silent, calm awareness, that's the doorway. This quote just nails it. All the drama, the chaos, the anxiety, that belongs to the instrument, to the mind/body system. It's just the weather. It has nothing to do with the observer, the sky. When you identify with the observer, you find this quiet space that's totally untouched by the storm. Right, but I know what you might be thinking. If this soul is so fundamental, why didn't they teach us about it in biology class? Why does science seem to ignore it completely? The problem isn't the soul, it's the tools. And this radio analogy explains it perfectly. Science, especially biology, is absolutely brilliant at studying the radio. It can take apart the brain, map every neuron, analyze every chemical. But the soul isn't in the hardware. It's the radio signal. You can't find the music by dissecting the wires. And think about it. If you smash the radio, the music stops playing. But the broadcast signal is still filling the air. Totally fine. Science is looking in the box, but the soul is the broadcast. But here's where it gets really wild. While biology is stuck, quantum physics accidentally blew the doors open on this. You've got the famous double-slit experiment, where a tiny particle, like an electron, isn't in any one place. It's just a fuzzy wave of pure possibility, until the moment a conscious observer decides to measure it. The second someone looks, that wave of possibility collapses into one single real particle in one single spot. The implication is just mind-bending. The act of conscious observation doesn't just see reality, it seems to create it. And hey, don't take it from me. This is a quote from Erwin Schrödinger. Yeah, that Schrödinger, one of the founding fathers of this whole field. He deeply studied these ancient philosophies and basically said the weirdness of quantum mechanics only makes sense if you stop thinking of consciousness as billions of separate little things. He proposed it's a singular, one thing, looking out through many different eyes. He was literally describing the Atman. So let's say we're on board. We get it, we want to connect, but why? What's the point of this whole journey? What actually happens when you plug back into the source? Let's go back to physics for another great analogy. Right now, for most of us, our ego mind is like a rusty old wire with a lot of electrical resistance. When life's energy flows through it, our fears and desires create friction, which generates heat. And that heat is stress, anxiety, and suffering. It's inefficient. But when you connect with a soul, you become a superconductor. That same life energy flows through you with zero resistance. No friction, no wasted hate, no suffering. You just become a perfect, effortless conductor of life itself. The poets, of course, have a much more beautiful way of putting it. It's the moment the drop of water realizes it was never separate. It was and is always the entire ocean. You have to let go of the small, scared, separate self to realize you are the vast, infinite, universal self. Now, there's a really common fear here, that if you do this, you'll become passive. You'll just want to sit on a cushion all day. But that's not the goal at all. The goal is to become a Jivan Mukta, a person who is liberated while still living. Think of it like an actor in a play who suddenly remembers they're just an actor. Do they drop their lines and walk off stage? No. They can now play their part with even more passion, more freedom, more courage, because they're not terrified by the drama anymore. They know on the deepest level that it's just a play. Okay, so this is the most important part. How do we actually start doing this? Let's finish up with 4 real practical exercises you can try. Think of these as ways to clean the mirror of your mind so you can finally see what's really there. First up, needy. It's a mental game of elimination. I'm not my body, that changes. I'm not my thoughts, those come and go. You keep discarding until you're left with what can't be discarded. Second, the screen. Imagine your awareness is a movie screen and your thoughts and feelings are just the movie being projected on it. Don't be the movie, be the screen. Third, the so-hum mantra. As you breathe in, mentally say so, and as you breathe out, hum. It ties your mind to your breath and quiets the chatter. And last, the gap. This one's subtle. Just try to catch the tiny silent space between 2 thoughts. That little moment of pure awareness, that's it. That's the whole game right there. So I'll just leave you with this. In a moment, this is all going to end. The screen will go blank, the sound will stop, your mind will move on to the next thought. But in that tiny gap, before the next thought begins, who or what is the one that remains? Silently aware. That's the question. And maybe that's also the answer.